Okay.
And after I left Hampshire Square, I went down the block to find Manning's, which is the coffee shop.
We used to go with Frank
It's not
and
there
Jean.
anymore.
Oh, no.
It's now Caro's. So if you want to go on State College, it's now Caro's, C-A-R-O-W-S. But I did find the Jolly Rogers. So we have a menu for you for the Jolly Rogers. There's a special this coming Saturday night. That's the Jolly Roger from 9 to 12. The 50s, 60s, 70s music or whatever. So I thought if you're in the area, you can do that. And then when the grandkids come along, we have a children's menu. Because the one at Hampshire Square and Jolly Roger. Now this last thing is a little bit more serious, I guess. I'm from the Italian tradition, and Christmas Eve is always very special to me. Our families get together, all the aunts and uncles and the cousins and so on. And our first year out in California, I grew up in New Jersey. We didn't know too many people, so we invited Janice and Gil for Christmas Eve. And they helped us decorate our tree. Do you remember doing that? And our sofa. We had a love seat. We didn't have much furniture.
From R&B.
But we did have our sofa. It was red and green. Remember with the wood siding?
We had the same one.
And so they helped us decorate our tree, and I just brought along an evergreen, which to me, to most people, symbolizes life. And I wanted to share that with Janice and Gil. This meant a lot to me. An evergreen. So, thank you very much.
Anthony, there's more to it than that.
Let's see, not to get in the last word, pardon me. This looks more formidable than it is. I'm sort of an amateur poet, but I thought I'd put together something for Janice and Gil that certainly comes from my heart. So this is an open letter to Janice and Gil. What are friends? They are the combined memories of yesterday, the experiences of today, and the hopes of tomorrow. Of memories, they were the Friday nights at Hampshire Square Apartments watching Star Trek and Newlyweds. They were the restaurant hopping, culminating in desserts, the ice-cold water after basketball games. They were the anxiety and joy of bringing 3 wonderful children into the world and watching at a distance as they grow into young men and young women. It was the comfort in times of sorrow at the loss of some of our parents. They were the moves from California to Washington, D.C., and again back to California. They were the countless hours at Oxnard, the hospital rounds, the long walks, and the bike rides. Of experiences, the announcement of the Earth being invaded by strangers at midnight in Hampshire Square, the graduation at newly completed UCI, the anguish of Daniel and Max's entrance into the world, and the joy that we see them now as young men. The encouragement and strength of Andrea and Jerry as they have matriculated and thrive at college. The vicissitudinous nature of Jenny and Missy's development as they emerge as beautiful young women. The late night discussions on all aspects of life. The admonishment and the encouragement that those things which should have been done but weren't. The annual Homentasche, the love and the care that they come wrapped in. Of the hopes, it is the future we see through our 6 children, the faith we share in God or Yahweh, the love we have for each other, and the reality of a better world because we care. What are friends? They are the embodiment of all of life's experiences, the hands that reach and help me up. They are you, Janice and Gil. I am proud to be one of yours. Mazel tov, and may God see you through the next 25 years.
I have to say a quick thing. Jerry's a mathematician, and what else would he write this on but some graph paper?
Now we have my mother's brother, Uncle Alan Feinberg. How much left? How much left?
Well, I guess I can say with
1881,
possibly two
82.
exceptions here. I've known Janice the longest of anybody here, and I think almost as long as I've known Gil. It seems that he's always been a part of my life, as has Janice. I guess I just reminiscences back. I remember at my bar mitzvah, and Gil was there. There was also another unnamed male who Janice was dating at that time, who also gave me a gift, as I remember. But I guess as in keeping more typically with Gil, I still may have it. It was a book having to do with Jewish religion or Jewish literature, with one of his typical poignant engravings about something to the effect of, you may not understand this now, but I'm sure you'll understand it later, which was always very in keeping with how Gil was and with Janice. And I guess it's just my remembrances of growing up, and I did get married later in life, and both Janice and Gil were always very nice. I was always included in all the family events. It was always like, well, you know, you're always welcome to bring a date, with kind of a little encouragement, like, bring one, please, get married, I'm waiting already. For a while, it got to be almost a contest. I think it was, gee, is Andrea going to get married before you are? But I guess I finally did beat out Andrea. And even now later, as I've become their accountant and their financial advisor, and although I remember many an evening with both Janice and Gil, and I think what the three of you, Andrea, Jennifer, and Daniel, did with your skits are very similar to my remembrances of having these year-end planning meetings with Janice and Gil, and Janice worried about the finances, and Gil only worried whether there was enough money to take another trip. The goings back and forth. But I think I remember most of all is whenever I've needed somebody, both Janice and Gil have always been there for me. Whenever I was breaking up with a girlfriend or feeling sad, or I just had it with my mother, I just couldn't deal with her anymore. They were always there. They were always there to welcome me. They always made me feel welcome. And I'm happy to have seen you for the 25 years. I look forward to seeing you for 25 more. And I couldn't wish you more than the best there is. And you've both been very dear to me and supportive of me and caring of me. And I know despite the trials and tribulations we've had, it's always been my best interest you've had in mind. Even though at times you said things which you knew might hurt me, but I know there was a lot of love and respect coming there. And I want to thank you both for that very much.
That was hard.
Okay, little break time.
Considering I hadn't really thought about it.
Next we have Richie Red.
People seem to move every year and a half into another place and another house and another community. I feel like we're new friends of yours compared to everyone else here, and yet we've been friends over 10 years, which for many people around here is a record. I think that says something more than anything else about you and your friends and how people feel about you. We got to know Gil and Janice through our kids. Danny and our son Bill started school together at the Merman School, and we just sort of came together, and I think most of our best friends come from that time at Merman School, and I really appreciate the memories and the times that have come from that. One observation about Gil and Janice, we were at a meeting together in St. Thomas a few years ago, sponsored, I might add, by someone who paid for both of us. But I thought it no longer. I thought it was a great deal because he was going to get to go on all of this and not have to spend any money. But I didn't count on shopping with Janice. Best of luck for the next 25 years, and by then we'll be 35-year-old friends, and so we'll be among the old folks.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have our husband, David.
Gil, didn't those people behind the post see they could move their chairs around?
To Janice and to Gil, known as the doctor and Nurse Jan.
Gil is a doctor. He's a specialist. The definition of a specialist is a doctor with a small practice and a big new kitchen. Which we have. When I think of Janice and Gil, somehow I think of Robin Williams in Dead Poet Society when he says, "Gather ye rosebuds while ye may, and seize the moment." It just kind of personifies your philosophy and the things that you do. Janice and Lauren and I were first cousins. And of course we've known each other a long time, but it wasn't really until there was a family death in 1982 that we really got to know Janice and Gil. And at that time, it was their friendship, support, and love, not one day, but every day. And there was a mutual discovery between Janice and myself and Lauren. And that is, we liked each other. We weren't just cousins anymore. But there was a friendship with Janice and with Gil that developed at that time and just continued developing over all these years. The philosophy of Janice and Gil is something that we've always admired. It's the love of their family, their children, education, travels, enjoying life, sharing all of it with their family and their friends, and to celebrate every birthday, every holiday, every anniversary. Their philosophy has always been that today, and whenever they're celebrating today, this is the best of times. It's from Lacage Fall, and it personifies their philosophy. The best of times is now. What's left of summer but a faded rose. The best of times is now. Now. Not some forgotten yesterday. Not tomorrow. It's too far away. So hold the moment fast and live and love as hard as you know how. And make the moment last. Because the best of times is now. Is now. So Janice and Gil, your 25 years of marriage has really been an inspiration for all of us. Congratulations to you, Janice and Gil, and to Andrea, Jennifer and Daniel, to Dorothy and Sam, their parents, and we love you.
How much time do we have left on the table?
5 minutes.
That was very nice, and you're right about what you said.
No, I know you were all worried, but we do have plenty of more videotapes. More people can talk. But next we have Earl and Shannon.
I'm not sure how much Earl's going to say, but I'd like to say a few things to Janice and Gil. We're relatively new friends of Janice and Gil. We've known them for about 19 years when we first moved to Southern California. I met Gil when I was a frightened new intern at LA County USC Medical Center, and Gil was my first resident. I thought he was the most knowledgeable doctor that I'd ever met in my life. Very worldly. And in the first 2 months that I spent in my internship, Gil taught me probably 99% of the things that I needed to know to take care of patients, and I still use those skills that he taught me today. At the same time, coincidentally, Burl met Janice, and we were expecting our first child. Janice and Gil already had 2 lovely young daughters, and Janice helped Burl learn the skills of raising a young family. A few months before we had our son Jeremy, Gil and Janice were fortunate enough to have their son Daniel, and they taught us how to hold a bris. And for all these lessons, we're eternally grateful. They've had 25 wonderful years of marriage, and I hope that they have 50 more, and I hope that they've taught us the same lessons so that we too can have the same 50 more years. Thank you.
hopefully you're certainly on your way.
Okay, now on your block.
The best thing that Jeff and I ever did was move across the street from Gil and Janice shortly after we were married 15 years ago. And I don't think we could have survived the early years of our marriage without Janice and Gil and Jeff occupied the chest nearly every evening. That's correct. We both thank you for that very much. And everything that's been important to us in our lives, we shared with Gil and Janice and the children, including the birth and marriage of the children. When Alyssa was born, the first thing that greeted us when we came home with their new daughter was a handmade sign.
I don't know what to say about that. She's not talking very
loud. A
loud.
little turtle that had a zipper compartment with 3 baby turtles inside when we were children. And Alyssa still has that. She still sleeps every night with her baby blanket that wrapped her up, that brought her home to her.
Yeah, it's fun, 5 minutes.
And even at Jonathan's bris, there was Gil keeping an eye on Royal's hand. Just right. And never having been a mother before, Janice being a mother of 3, I really looked to her and to her experience, and I was aghast. That first night at home without a baby bottle, without a diaper, we left Alyssa with Jeff, which was a chance. And Janice and I went to Ralph's and we bought out the store. Janice just kept taking things off the shelf and absolutely everything. Came home, sterilized everything, and I was shaking. She had Alyssa over her shoulder without holding on to her. Getting everything ready. And then I turned to Janice and I'm still shaking and crying and not knowing really how to handle having a newborn. And Janice said, don't worry, I'll be over in the morning. Well, the next morning, Janice was over 3 times with 3 station wagons full of stuff she'd been saving for me for the 5 to 6 years we've been waiting to have a family. Janice had saved me every article of clothing from Andrea, Jennifer, and Daniel. Alyssa wore a lot of Daniel's clothes. And we also got the hobby horse with the broken leg and the bit permanently tied around its neck. So we had, our house looked like the Ross's house. And we opened up the drawers and we saw what the children were wearing and it looked just like their closets. Everything that's been important to us, we really shared. Losses we shared, good times we shared. We look forward to sharing the rest of our lives together. Thank you so much. All of you.
I'm on 3 minutes. I'm on 3 minutes.
Okay, no.
2 minutes. It just went to 2 minutes.
Okay. Now I'd like to announce that Tony Grisanti has 2 minutes to speak. The video
I don't even recognize you.
I'm going to speak from back here.
Well,
You look better.
I just wanted to give a few reflections on Gil from how he's, what he's felt about at St. Joe's Hospital. He really is a man of taste, as we can see. And that certainly was brought to light recently. And we know he has such a good taste in clothes and everything else. And we know that. And I found that out when we were on the floor recently. And I said, yeah, there's a prince of a guy. He really is royalty. And the nurse turned and says, yes, that's the king of polyester. He has great taste in cars. I remember him driving that car to the hospital the first day, that Mercedes. What, yellow Gil? So we know he has a great taste in cars. Well, we wish you
Yeah.